Hi friends, welcome to Testing Tutorials Point. This is Lokesh and today we are going to discussing about Python regression. What is basically regression means? A regression is the process of defining the something in term of itself. Means you can able to say that we could want to place of two parallel mirrors are facing each other, then we can objects or could be reflected the same, right? The same way we can able to use for recursions, like when the function call other function, it is even possible to the function call itself. This kind of constructor is termed as a recursion functions. Means the one function is presented, that function itself it is calling. If you want to call another function into the function, it is by default we can able to use it. If we can able to use for the same function itself into the function, then it is called as a regression. Okay, and the basic thing is syntax is a define and regression and the colons and some statements again used for the regression method calling here, and again some statements inside the regression method again we are using, then we are calling to the function, then it is called as a regression function. Okay, how simple format I'm going to defining here the example, the factorial x we are defining, and then we are going to use some comments. And here I define for if x equal to 1 and return 1, then otherwise you can able to factorial, you can be able to find for that factorials. And this is the kind of printing the number x number we are going to defining that, and all right, for that we are going to using the simple format of example this one, and just I'm copy pasting here. This is the one like final one is calling, and here inside the recursion method we are going to getting. If I run this one, the factorial of 3 is 6, means we are specifying 3 and the factorial is 6. Okay, and how it is possible and how it is working. Basically when your factorial 3 when it is calling, then what will happen, the first stage it is 3 into factorial 2 it will defined, and then the calling method is sending the call is set 2, then second time 3 into 2 into 1, then 3 into 2 into 1. This is the format it will present it. Then 3 into 2, the 1 is presented numeric value, then it will go for returning. Then the returning time what will happen, 3 into 2 it will return for second value of that, means there is no other choice, right? Because 1 into, if you are indication for that also it is like 6 only, then what will happen, 2 into 3 it is become a 6, then it will return the first value that is called a 6. This is the operation it will do for inside for that regression. Okay, and our regression ends with the number of reductions to 1, then the call base of the condition. And if you are mentioning the 10 it will go for 10 to 1 it will come, then final value it will return to that. Okay, the interpreter basically what will happen, the Python interpreter it is the depth of it will help to avoiding the infinity loops. Means when you define some limitations, this interpreter having some limitation, that is called, if you are defining for infinity loops, we can able to do in Java or C sharp, some other languages, infinity loops, right? Can able to define until we close manually hitting, right? But our Python is having like infinity loop, we can able to stop, because it will up to 1,000 times it will goes and it will stop by default, because it will not do for infinity, it will only for 1,000 times it will do for regression. Okay, and then if you are defining like this, define regression and regression, without regression any value up to returns it will go for, it will goes until 1,000 times, then it will stop it. Okay, what is the advantage for using this function? To recursion function make the code looks clean and elegant. The complex task can be broken down into a similar sub problems using the regression. The sequence generation is easier with the regression than using some nested iterations. Means if you are creating this kind of functions, we can able to multiple functions, we can able to call it as this function, we can able to divide some different parts and we can able to use. That is a one kind of advantage. And disadvantage is sometimes the logic behind the regression is hard to follow the throws. We need to understand that entire regression and we need to do something the logic. Sometimes we can able to mistake. That is the one kind of disadvantage. Regression calls are expensive, like insufficient, as they take up a lot of memory and time. Means when it is running, keep on running, right? To do that, it will take more memory to run and storing the values also. Regression functions are hard to debug. When you want to do the some debug, it is very difficult because it is calling inside the same method every time, right? To do that, it is debugging very hard. There is a basic advantage and disadvantage and basic information about regression. I hope you understand this video. Please like my video, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share your friends and colleagues. Thank you.